So just before Christmas might seem like a strange time to declutter, but for me, it is one of the absolute best. I've got 5 easy, quick decluttering tips for you, and thank you to Birch Living for sponsoring today's video. Grab your tea and let's go. Pop on into the kitchen. That's often where I start when I do my Christmas decluttering. Holiday kitchens and pans and kits that you bought years ago are probably something you might find, because I certainly have found it. I bought a silicone bundt pan in the past. It was red and I was like, yep, I will use this at Christmas, and I never did. It never happened. I also had snowflake shaped muffin tins and more. Guess what? I never did it. It's time to be honest with ourselves. Are we baking snowflake cupcakes and muffins? No, I certainly do not. Now, I'm good if I just make my Christmas Jell-O. I like to spend just like 5 minutes in the kitchen looking to see what we have. So I got my little box here, and sometimes I use like the 3-box system or even the 4-box system. Today, I'm just using like this little box because this is like a quick declutter before Christmas. And if I need another box, even better. This thing I just saw, I bought this. This is sort of like a rack that you can use for turkeys and chickens and stuff. And I realized I've never used it. I have another rack that I can use. And I also have this, which is a stand for a bowl that has gone missing. So I'm gonna plop this in here, and I am already off to a great start for decluttering before Christmas. Now, if there is a place in my house that seems to reproduce, it is the linen closet. I'm not really sure what has happened here, but clearly something needs to be done. It is also the perfect time to tidy this area because it's the time of year when a lot of us, not all, looking at you, Florida, well, some of us, we need to change our sheets and put on our flannel and cozy sheets. And I'm also very excited to put them on my beautiful Birch Living bed. I've got to be honest with you though, since we received our Birch Living Luxe bed only 3 short weeks ago, I find myself doing everything in here now. Watching TV, snuggling the kids, working, grooming the cats, cooking, wrapping presents. Now, what I love about Birch is that they make mattresses that are crafted with organic and natural materials that have been sustainably sourced. The Birch Natural Mattress was actually just awarded the best mattress from 2023 by US News out of over 340 mattresses and hours of in-person expert testing. Now, I was a little bit worried that there would be off-gassing because I am super sensitive to that. There was none because their mattresses are free from polyurethane foams that can cause the dangerous off-gassing, and they are free from fiberglass, which can also be harmful to our health. So it's good for you and for the environment. Another super cool thing is that you get a 100-night sleep trial, a 25-year warranty, and free shipping to your door in the US. Check out this puppy. This contains 100% organic wool. Yeah, pretty darn nice. I love my Birch mattress, and I think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, which by the way is the perfect holiday gift for yourself or your partner, check out Birch Living. Visit birchLiving.com/minimalisthome.
And you will get 25% off for their Black Friday sale, plus 2 amazing Eco Rest pillows.
And for the little ones, check out Birch Kids Natural Mattress, which is the 2023 Good Housekeeping Parenting Award winner. And my husband absolutely loves this. He has had back pain since a car accident like 14 years ago. He says that he absolutely is obsessed with this mattress, and I am too. And I love climbing into this very comfy bed at night, and I will love it even more with these flannel sheets on it. So thank you to Birch for sponsoring this video. So now that that bed is made, I need to tackle this closet. And not only is this full, but I can't even fit everything that needs to go in here in there. There's a basket that's got some towels with some sheets under it. There's a random duvet out here, and there are a bunch of things in here that don't need to be here. So before Christmas, what's great is that you may have family that's coming, so it's a good idea to know what kind of linens you have. It's also helpful to clean out that space. I actually don't think I've done this since probably about 2020. So maybe that is why. I guess in all of my maintenance decluttering, I just managed to skip this. So what I'm gonna do is do this as fast as possible. I can see some things that don't belong here. We did not keep sleeping bags in here before, but maybe there will be room when we're done. I can also see things that are not being used anymore. So let's get started. Okay, this goes in the rec room in the basement. We're not gonna keep this anymore. My son did not use it last year. It's for babies pretty much. It's adorable, adorable quilt though. Oh my gosh. It feels good to know that one mom and her kids are gonna get that. Yes, I love these sheep sheets. My mom made this, so I'm gonna hang on to it because she made it. You can see this is very holey and not in the good way. So this is actually gonna go in the garbage. Nobody's gonna want this. Now I know that throwing things away is something not a lot of us wanna do. I don't wanna do it, but let's be realistic. People aren't going to want that. This is also something that my son used to use, but it's kind of juvenile now. My youngest child is 14. So we're gonna donate this too. Short girl problems, oh my gosh. Okay, I'll put this here and somebody else can put it up after. I'm allergic to dust and it's starting to get to me.
Before I show you the rest of what I decluttered, check out the after of this closet. Now I still have the whole sleeping bag situation, but look how clean, and I can donate the blankets. Yay!
The wrapping paper station. Now I don't know about you, but I have accumulated a lot of Christmas wrapping stuff that I just don't use, like crushed bows with tape still stuck on the back that we saved from gifts in the past. Wrapping paper pieces, bags that are falling apart. Now, before things get really busy and crazy, this is the perfect time to go through things, sort out what we are and are not using. Now, I've mentioned it before, but I love Diane in Denmark's tip about getting plain paper from IKEA or something and then fancying it up with bows. Then you can use that paper all year and you don't have that awkward moment of giving your husband a birthday gift wrapped in Christmas paper. I like to set up a little wrapping station down in our Lego room, and I've talked about the Lego room in the past. We all have our guilty pleasures. Now, I put the rolls of wrapping paper out, some tape, some scissors, this little cutter I have that's super handy, and then any old time I need to wrap a gift when it gets delivered, or I just get back from shopping, I can quickly wrap it up. Or my amazing 16-year-old son can wrap it up, and then we pop her under the old tree. As I get this set up, what I'm gonna do is just like quickly look and say, okay, so first of all, I have these like tea towels that are here. Now, I don't think these are awful. They're great to use at Christmas, and I like to store things like this with the Christmas supplies, just not normally with the wrapping supplies. I got some holiday cards here. If these don't get used this year, they are being decluttered. So I'm going to just sort of make a little mini penalty box, which is something I've talked about before. This is a really nice, this is the perfect example of this paper here before that I mentioned. So this simple IKEA paper that's nice and plain, I can use that with this wrapping paper, which is tissue paper. I think I maybe got it at Chapters or something like that. And it's got this like really cool, like buffalo check, like that together looks really nice. So you can fancy it up, fancy it down. Like I said, you can use it for like birthdays or whatever. And I am just gonna go through this stuff. I see there are some bags. And if these things, some of them are in good condition, so we will keep them. I like the bags because they're reusable. My kids are teenagers now and they don't really care. But if like, so this bow, for example, it's super crushed. It's got tape on the back. It's been used before. I'm not going to keep this. Now, I do like the idea of being more sustainable and reusable when it comes to Christmas. So in the past, I've looked up like cloth bags and things like that. But here's the thing, I still have big rolls like this from Costco. And I mentioned in a previous video that I like to really minimize like what is under the tree. I don't like to be like my brain completely overstimulated. So what I will do is you could give this to somebody if you didn't want to keep it, or you can like tuck them in the back or something like that. But I love the idea of simplifying our Christmas wrapping stuff. Let's quickly talk about decorations. Now there is a trap that you can fall into, and I need to tell you a little story. So I had a string of Christmas lights, the old-fashioned kind that you can unscrew the light bulb. I can't believe I'm calling them old-fashioned, but here we are. So I plugged them in, and there were some bulbs that had burnt out. So I unscrewed a bulb and I saw a little bit of dust inside, and in my sheer stupidity, I poked my finger in to get that dust out, and yep, it shocked me. But the lesson here, it's not necessarily about electrical safety, although don't do that, but it's about trying to fix things. So sure, if you can replace a bulb and you're using that string, by all means, go ahead. But don't get caught in the pattern of trying to fix everything. I see this far too often of people falling into the trap of saving things. They think, oh, that only needs this, or I can fix that, or it only, you know, I could just like tighten that screw or whatever. That's often not the case. And the thing is, quite often what we do is we save those things for far too long and we never use them. We can fall into that trap when it comes to Christmas stuff and decor as well. And I'm gonna tell you right now, unless it's very sentimental to you, let it go. Let me tell you a story about a very special 4'9" adorable lady. Let's call her Petunia. Now, Petunia had a beautiful house and she would decorate it. It was always decorated beautifully, but she would decorate it so nicely at Christmas. Now, I've known this lady my whole life. Here's the thing though, Petunia, great at decorating. She also was really good at buying Christmas stuff. And she had a storage room, not huge, but it definitely had a lot of Christmas stuff. And she would buy new things every year. She would go to craft fairs and she'd buy just a couple of things. But after decades of decorating for Christmas, she was not able to put it all out. Thank goodness she didn't, because that would have been extreme. But there was just too much stuff and it was overwhelming. And then I think that, to be honest, every time it came time to decorate, she felt guilty that she couldn't put that stuff out. And then when it was time for her to move and to declutter, that became a whole different scenario. So that aside, I like to declutter any decorations that I did not use last year. Bonus points if you didn't use them the year before. Like, sure, there's the odd time where like, hey, maybe you want to alternate years, that's fine. And if you have the storage for it, cool. But for me, I find like the more stuff I have kicking around that I'm not using, the worse I feel. And what's great, if you declutter, especially early, somebody else who maybe can't afford to buy some stuff, they can get it at a thrift store or something, which is really, really nice. The gifts that you received that you don't want to keep anymore. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I have not loved all gifts that I have received. I appreciate all the gifts I've ever received. And I also have some personal gripes with gift giving in general. And I think that's why we occasionally end up with things that don't really make sense for us. If you think about it, Christmas and birthdays and things like that, often there feels like there's some kind of obligation to give gifts. And you know, if you get into love languages and gift giving and all of that, my husband's, his is gift giving. So, can you believe I did not give him a 50th birthday present? He said not to get him anything. That was a trap. I'm not going to get into that. But the thing is, when it comes to gift giving at Christmas, yes, we do end up giving gifts. But the problem is sometimes people don't like all of those gifts. So what are they to do? Now, maybe I have a secret Facebook Marketplace account to sell things, and maybe I don't. But regardless, life is too short to keep things that you don't use. Maybe you once loved them. Maybe it's toys that your kids don't play with, and it's time to move them on. Maybe it's clothes. Maybe it's stuff from your kitchen. Remember, some things will likely be coming in during the next month or two. And one of the most important things to consider before I buy anything is always, where am I going to keep this? Because. So think about it like this. Imagine this is the storage you have in your house. If it has room for more things, that's great. There's room to put more things, gifts and things for Christmas. However, if you're already starting out full and then you try to put more gifts in, well, what happens? We end up with a big mess and nowhere to store all of this water or gifts. So this is what I have decluttered right now. I've got this tin. This is a child's head rest pillow we don't use anymore. This base for that bowl I couldn't find. And then this rack. The best part of tackling decluttering these things now is that then you're going to have time for the things that really matter. And you're not going to be cramming everything in around that. It's going to be so much more relaxing. I have 3 tips here all about how you can create that awesome, minimal, and peaceful Christmas. Check that out. Thanks again to Birch Living for sponsoring this, and I hope something fun happens for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!